Hi, this is Pastor Brook from Bear Creek United Methodist Church, and this is the second part of the first section I have on prayer that I'm doing. I'm doing a thing on prayer, and so this is what I call the action part. So uh, the video before this, I kind of shared kind of some thoughts about what prayer is. So how do you start? I mean, maybe you've never prayed or really never got serious about what it means to pray. And so where do I begin? How do I start? Well, a couple things I want you to do is first, I talked about those fists in the last video, how we get into this me versus us versus them, this kind of competitive world. And for me, I'm trying to get out of that place. And so I'm letting my hands and my palms up. So I'm taking my clenched heart and I'm thinking about some places in my heart. I'm examining my heart where I'm tense, where I'm angry, where I'm frustrated, where I'm hurt, and I'm trying to release that. And that's what the palms up is all about. The second part of that is, I think when statistics tell us that when we have our palms up, we listen better to whoever we're listening to. So if you find yourself like this when you're listening to someone, you probably got a lot of things going on there. But if you just release those hands and lift them up, you're going to listen to that person better. It's a good practice to do with anybody. It's actually scientific. So I'm opening these hands like this so that I can listen better, because prayer, if it's anything at all, it's listening. It's learning to listen. Yesterday, we wrote prayers on our parking lot. We had an outdoor worship, and we wrote prayers with chalk, sidewalk chalk, and somebody wrote, "Help me to listen better." And I thought, wow, best prayer ever, because that's what prayer is. It's more about listening than talking. So, listening. And then, as I've got my posture and I'm letting go, I start breathing. I'm getting in touch with that breath. This is kind of what I call centering. If you've ever done pottery, you have a potter's wheel, and you've got to get that piece of clay, that lump of clay, you got to move it from the outer part of the wheel to the center. And if you don't do that, this thing will just throw right off the wheel, the clay. And that's kind of the way our lives are sometimes. We're way out on the edge of that wheel, too much. And so we're trying to move all of who we are, all the lumps and bumps of who we are, into the center of that wheel. And that's what the breath does for me. It centers me. And some of the things I try to do when I'm breathing, first breathe quietly, slowly. I try to listen to my breath. And then when I'm breathing in, right at the end, when I can't seem to hold anymore or take any more air in, I like to give that some space and hold it. And then I breathe out. And then when I can't breathe out anymore, again, I'm trying to lengthen that space. And this comes from an idea of Stephen Covey in one of his books, where he talks about our world today doesn't have any bumper pad in it anymore. We have someone says something to us and we react right away. And one of the goals of our lives is to try to lengthen that space from when we react right away, to make more space there, so we take more time and we think more about that space in between. For me, that's prayer. Trying to lengthen that space so I'm responding in a positive and loving way instead of just reacting, right? So, palms up, releasing all that tension, breathing slow, lengthening the space there. And then I like to start with a centering prayer, what I call a breath prayer. My breath prayer is River of Love. So as I'm breathing in, that's the image of God for me, river of love. And my request to God is, restore my soul. So as I'm breathing in, river of love. And as I'm breathing out, restore my soul. So that's the practice I would invite you to do with me now. Take your fists, release, get in touch with your breath. Lengthen those spaces. And then as you breathe in, just say gently in your mind, river of love. And as you breathe out, restore my soul. River of love. Restore my soul. Practice that. Give it a try. Hey, it may feel very strange at first. This is a new language for us. But it's worth it. It really is. Thanks for being here.